Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
Okay, legends, welcome back to Street Fighter Duel, and this time we're gonna go and do the Effigy clash with another boss, which is Polly the Pony. It's not that difficult, it's not that hard. The only part that you need to pay attention for is the stuns from the mini Polly or the daughter of Polly. So if you're gonna go and check that, it will lower your accuracy, it will lower your pressure, I think, and then you will not hit immediately, and the crit rate will be a little bit lower. So if you can play with something like dispelling or buffing your crits, buffing your accuracy, buffing your pressure, you're gonna do a lot of damage. And as you see on my zone right now, as free to play, I did 12 billion. 12 billion is a good point for you, even if your effigy is not that high. I mean, for us it's level 24 right now. I think it's level 24. Let me check. Level 26, and we have 3 stars, level 21 on the Halidom E, which is for bossing actually. And you don't need to worry about this because you only need one of your guild members to be in the top 10, and that's happy days. I did as much as possible just to show you that even if you're free to play, you can manage to reach the top 10, maybe rank 10. The last fight, I think, on the bosses, I was as free to play on round 1, rank 10 in the servers, which is absolutely perfect. And we have Emperor on our guild, he got rank 2, so it doesn't matter who's else in the top 10, one will be in the top 10, and then you're gonna get all the glory rewards for your entire guild. From 1 to 10, you're gonna distribute 5,000 diamonds, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, for this boss, it's not hard. We can play the same exact teams that we played before, even with Zangief. Yeah, Zangief, the problem with Zangief is he drops and hit the little pony. He does not drop and hit the main pony. Sometimes he does. He drop and hit Polly and removes all of the passives that she does, which is lower your accuracy and stuff like that. But mainly he drops and hit the little pony. So the little pony does not regenerate energy more and more, so he will not go and stun you even more. But for maximum damages, you can use either of these 2 units, which are great actually with their buffing, depending on RNG with Psycho Dan. I replaced Psycho Dan with Rose. Let me show you the lineup that I'm talking about. Psycho Dan, I replaced him with Rose, and I got the highest result, actually, even better than the score with Rose. But if you use Rose, also she will give you that. And I tried with Rose again, and I got the highest scores on my different lineups with a good result on this lineup. So this is why it registered the high score. But I would definitely go and try Psycho Dan again. But if you don't have him, if you built Rose and you didn't max out him, because mine is at plus 30, 6 out of 6. Probably everybody from the people that played the game from the early release, they have Rose at least built right now. So you can play Rose actually, and she will do fine. The rotation, you start with Rich Honda, Street Poison, Rose, and then Fire Adon. You can use Street Poison on the main lineup. I found more success when I use her on the main lineup for some reason, because maybe the Toxic Love regenerate, and she's plus 30 for me. If she is plus 30 for you, you can use her at plus 30. And use her passive while she auto attack and give you Toxic Love for more crit rate, damage, and pressure, which will help you a lot, especially versus this boss. Now the EX moves that I'm using, I was trying different EX moves. I tried these, anything that will give me attack, of course, and I'm using the Virgil EX just for the last minutes or the last seconds of the fight, so I can survive a little bit more. And the firewall beneath that both of the ponies will give me a little bit of damage. So this is the main lineup. This is how I run with it. It gives me the highest score. It gave me like 6 billion damage, between 5 to 6 billion damage, which is absolutely fantastic. The second lineup, which is the Turtles, and with the highest scores that I did, I didn't do the highest score with this lineup. Actually, it gives me something between 2.3 to 5 billion damage, or 3 billion damage, sorry. Depending on your RNG with the hitting, sometimes you whiff because the pressure or the accuracy is down, and sometimes you do extra damage. And as I said, before you start your combo, immediately when the Turtles pizza pops up, just use it, because it will give you the stacks of intent and breakdance, sword intent and breakdance, until the end of the battle, which is it will stack up with you until the boss removes it when you take damage and stuff like that. I'm using Raphael. You can use, if you want, Eva Ryu. You can use, if you want, Gormagala Ken, Summer Ibuki, whichever you want, but he survives a lot, especially because the Turtles are on my lineup and I get the buffs from Donatello. If you don't want to use Donatello, you can use Abel, but Donatello will buff you a little bit, heal you, give you shields, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm running the boys, Yan and Yang. Yan, I'm using him on my action guy, which is a perfect unit, action guy, plus 30, 6 out of 6. You can't go wrong with him. If you have one copy of Leonardo, still deals amazing amount of damage. Now, if you have Viper built up, you can use Viper instead of him. She will do the same amount of damage, maybe sometimes more, sometimes less. But if you have him at SS or SS plus with plus 30, just like I do, use him because he will bring a lot of damage and he will put you high on the damage lord or the damage leaderboards. So the third team, and this team I'm playing around it, sometimes with Witch Jury, sometimes without Witch Jury. I'm using Suit Able sometimes I'm using Able, and this time it clicked with me, this kind of lineup. Now you don't need to use Gen in specific, like particular. You can use any type of unit that will be defensive or offensive. You can use it on your Luke, you can use it on your Able. If you don't have Luke, you can play any other unit. Psycho Dan, I would highly recommend playing him on this lineup for more survivability and tanking on your lineup. But if I'm playing Luke, Luke is surviving, especially because I'm using his drive perfectly on the time, and he will, or not perfectly, as soon as I have it, I just drop it, and it will give me 4 stacks of drive, so he will be immune of damage when he gets the 4, because it gets removed and he will not die. So I start with Visconti Vega, Able, Luke, then Visconti Vega. You can try this lineup, you can use somebody else other than Luke, you can use Suit Able here, you can use Psycho Dan works. The new Sakura, actually, she works here, but full investment, of course. She gives you the 10-second window of buffing your attack, which is good actually for you if you want something like that. 10 seconds is really good, and she refreshes it every time whenever you get the stacks, which is really good. Actually, she's not a bad unit. She will heal you, keep you surviving, but she will not add damage or do damage reduction. Luke adds a little bit of damage, does the damage reduction, so it will enable your Visconti Vega to deal even more damage with the buffs of Double S, Summer Elena, which will give you the buffs and will heal you, and she will be immune for damages. She will be the last one to be killed on your lineup. Now, the fourth lineup, I'm using, yes, Dalsim team. Dalsim team is so stable for me. I don't know why. Maybe because my Dalsim has so many cars. I think 2 more cars. I still didn't pull the cars for him. I removed him. But 2 more extra cars, I think, and he will be 36 cars. This is why he's dealing high numbers of damage. So, the rotation, I start with Fashion Blanca at the start. C1 from Dalsim, C2 from Summer Yang, then C3 from Bison. When I click the Kami and Vega EX, Dalsim would start, so I start with Dalsim. C1 from Fashion Blanca, C2 from Summer Yang, then C3 from Dalsim. I wait a little bit so he can accumulate all the stacks. I drop the drones of Chun-Li because it will help me a little bit to regenerate combo meter, as well as Summer Yang with his C2. Every time you hit armor break on your enemy, you get 60 combo meter, which is perfect. The third rotation, I start with Fashion Blanca, use C1 of Dalsim, C2 of Summer Yang, C3 of Bison, and then I will have 2 more rotations or combo meters by the end of the time. The boss will try to kill me. If you are lucky with the shields with Fashion Blanca, you will get him to survive a little bit more. So you can start with Dalsim, use the C1 of Summer Yang, C2 of Fashion Blanca, C3 of Dalsim, twice by the end of the battle, and you can drop whatever damages that you can. I drop the Raging Eye because it will give me more crit rate and crit damage, and with Witch Jury on top of him, he will heal while taking damage, so he will regenerate health, and this is why he doesn't die by the end of the battle. If we're gonna go and check the replay now, I will show you how this works. These were my lineups. Now, of course, you can play any different kind of lineups if you have. If you have Oni, you can play Oni. As I said, instead of Michelangelo and Leonardo, instead of Leonardo, you can play Viper. Viper works pretty nice. She's a solid unit to pick. And these are the damages. Almost 6 billion with Fire Aidon. You can go even more. If you're lucky, you can go to 7 billion or 8 billion, depending on if you get lower pressure down or lower accuracy down from the boss. For this run, I was lucky a little bit, so I got as much damage as possible. This team, it's always between 2.2 billion or 3 billion, but this time I was unlucky because Leonardo got every single stack of accuracy down, which was unfortunate, but it was a good amount of number, almost 2 billion damage. 2.5 with Visconti Vega, 2.2 with Dalsim, which is a stable, solid damage number or threshold that you need to keep. So let's go and check the first lineup, and this is how it goes. We're gonna go to ×4. The trick here is to wait for the little pony to do his first stun, then you go after that and do your combo rotations, because you have a time window to do 3 or 4 full combo rotations before he stuns you again. And if you were lucky one more time, you're not gonna get stunned by him, which I think I got I got unlucky and I got stunned, but I continued the rotation normally. So here we start with Rich Honda, C1 from Street Poison, C2 from Rose, and C3 from Fire Aidon, and then I drop the EX move of Trendy Guile again. because it will increase the speed, and every time you reach, it stacks up every time, and it gives you 8% of attack, and it stacks up, I think, to some type of good number. And as you see, I got stunned, yet I continued. It was unlucky to get stunned, but it gave me the time, so my units would not die immediately. Rose died, sadly. Maybe this was unlucky. She took the full damage where everybody else had a little bit of evasion. I have the Virgil EX move that I use just to keep my lineup a little bit alive so I can do a little bit of damage, and that's what kept my Adon alive a little bit. If I timed it correctly, I could have made him stay alive even more and deal even more damages. So RNG, keep retrying, you're gonna get it. You can get to 8 billion damage actually with this lineup. And the second lineup, which is the turtles, and this is how we went with the turtles. So speed times 4. As soon as I get the pizza ready, I just drop it and look at the stacks. You will get the stacks, and these stacks will stay on you. So we have breakdance and 3 sword intent and 5 breakdance actually, which is really good. And then you can go and continue dealing your rotations. So we wait for Pony, the little one, to go through and not attack us anymore because we don't want him to interrupt us. And as he goes back, we start with Leonardo. Then we use Donatello from the C1 from the attack position because he's not built for me. C2 from Action Guy. And then we go with Leonardo again with the C3. And Raphael does Raphael things. So you can go back to back with this one. Yeah, and you never miss your timing with Donatello and Action Guy. So keep that in mind. Let's go to ×2 and show you how this goes. And actually everybody is surviving so far, and we're not doing the greatest damage because of the stacks of the accuracy down. As you see on Leonardo, he has 3 so far, which is very bad for me. And I go again, and then he died, and now the stacks are off, so we can do a little bit of damage, and that's it. That's the only thing. It didn't register by the end, but I was unlucky to get all these stacks on him. Probably I'll do a different run and try not to get the same bad result with him as an RNG. Visconti Vega does every single damage. As you see, Summer Elena drops, does some attacks, so she helps with the damage a little bit. 71 million. 91 with Luke because he's not doing actually all the reversal drive and all the drive impacts because he's not built. At SS, he's absolutely good. He helps me with his C2 to remove or reduce the damage immunity or damage reduction on the boss. Let's go and check the replay. Again, I'm gonna go to ×4 and I will show you that we start always at the same time when the pony, little pony starts. And I drop the Luke EX immediately just to get him to drive right off the bat because I'll need them later so he can do a little bit of his reversal at least. So, little pony, we wait for it, and you see these accuracy down, you see all of these debuffs that the boss gives. This is the one that you need to pay attention for. I use the Visconti Vega EX move, his own EX move, so it drops you on HP, gives you more attack. And then Abel, Luke, then Visconti Vega again with the C3, while Elena drops from the attack position, give us the buffs and the heals, and keep us surviving. And we do actually good amount of damage with this lineup. Now you can use Action Guy instead of Luke here, also works if you don't have a TMNT team or you don't want to run it, which is really great, and he will improve your numbers. Yes, he will go to 3 to 4 billion with this lineup. Visconti Vega is absolutely fantastic. Here we go, Visconti Vega, Abel, Luke, then Visconti Vega, and our Luke and Visconti Vega died. Abel with his shield survived. I start with Summer Elena, and then I use the shield Abel with his C1. And 2.5 because the bleed is still cooking from Visconti Vega, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, let's go and check my final lineup and the most lineup that I like actually, because it's super free to play and it's consistent, and it will you can use it in every boss. You can see me that in my videos I use Dalsim all the time because he's so good and successful with giving me high damages. At the start of the battle, we wait until Fashion Blanca hits one hit for the boss, and then we start with him. And we wait. When Dalsim drops on his leg, we use his C1, and we wait a little bit, and then I drop the Kami and Vega EX. I drop Summer Yang with his C2. I wait a little bit as well, and then Bison with the C3. Then I wait for Dalsim to drop off, and I use the Super because it's for free. C1 from Fashion Blanca, C2 from Summer Yang, and I wait a little bit. And sadly, we got stunned, but we continued, and we use the C3 of Dalsim so he can stand on his leg one more time and get some stacks. We start from Fashion Blanca, and I wait until I use the C1 of Dalsim again so he can get more stacks as much as possible. Then wait a little bit, then drop Summer Yang for the C2. And as you see, we get armor break, so we get a little bit of combo meter. Now we have almost 2 combo meters to start with. I start with Dalsim, I wait a little bit, then Summer Yang, then Fashion Blanca, then Dalsim again. I'm waiting, and I'm using the combos by the end so he can accumulate some stacks, Dalsim. I wait a little bit to get 1 stack, then I start with him again, then Fashion Blanca, Summer Yang, and I drop the EX move for more damage. And as Dalsim takes damage and he deals damage, as you see, he regenerates his health back again, because he's squishy and we don't want him to die. Then we start with Dalsim, I use Fashion Blanca, C2 from Summer Yang, and then Dalsim again, and he heals and regenerates again. As you see, everybody dies except him, so with him and Bison, and he drops his super one more time, and this is what gave us the highest damage. I love playing Dalsim. I know it's a hard gameplay to play with him, especially with Witch Jury. He will regenerate health with the lifesteal because he does massive amount of damage if you have the Yoga Tower stacks on him. This is what I like about this lineup. It's absolutely ridiculous. For me, it's one of the top lineups for free to play. Yeah, you see me, I'm not using Viper. You can use Viper. Again, if you have Viper, drop her instead of the turtle teams. If you don't have the turtles built up, you can use her instead of Leonardo. She will do actually good amount of damage. Let me check if any of the free to play is Islam Santos. He uses Viper. Let me check. Where is he? He's supposed to be somewhere here in the top 10. Oh, he's behind me. Okay. Okay. So same lineup here. Absolutely fantastic. Same lineup here. Perfect. And Viper instead. This is what I was saying. And how much did she deal? 8. That's 1.6, 1.7 billion, which is absolutely crazy with this lineup. And his Raphael is maxed. Now he has 6 out of 6 on his action guy. Actually, he will deal even more damage and he will surpass the damages that I did. Absolutely fantastic. Double Bison teams still work and deals good amount of damage. I will highly recommend a Dalsim team. Dalsim team deals more damages than that. Maybe you can put Overlord Bison instead of normal Bison with Dalsim team and you will deal even good amount of damage. And this was it for our video. Let me know how about your scores and how you did, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fight, time to fight. Never